all of that kind of stuff helps regulate our nervous system because our anxiety is coming in because our nervous system doesn't feel safe. At the moment, it's moving from just feeding us that worry and the anxiety into we're allowed to have the other side of that, the good side and the future hope and everything else as well. Hi guys, I am just jumping on for my weekly update. It is Mel from Mel Ryan 100% You. One of the things that has been coming up this week for a lot of people that I've been talking to was, when was the last time you laughed? The world is pretty crazy right now, and there's a lot obviously going on. And because there's so much unrest and so much uncertainty in the future, all of us are living in a state of anxiety. So when we talk about anxiety, we have what I call the four states. So we have the little trickling brook where, we're kind of just on alert, seeing what's happening in life. None of us are there. Next, we have the river that's flowing along. From there, we have the rapids that is taking us wherever good takes us, and it's all uncertain and tumultuous. And then we get from there to, what I call the tsunami, or even like the cliff top that is going to drop you from that waterfall to impending doom. So we're kind of all somewhere in that situation at the moment. And when we talk about finances, or every time we listen to the news, all we hear is more things about how it's going to get worse. So when we understand anxiety, anxiety is about feeling like we don't have control over someone, which is a person in what they're doing, or something, which is a series of events. So if you think about it at the moment, that's exactly where we all are, because we don't have control over all of these big decisions being made. So the question is, how do we get through? We can't pretend it's not happening, but it's shifting the perspective for us to be able to cope with it a little bit more for ourselves. It's the step out to be able to bring the big picture back, because sometimes the big picture, and it's not just our big picture, it's the whole world big picture at the moment. What can I find in that big picture that maybe can soften my anxiety a little bit? The world is becoming a very different place, and there's a different consciousness and a different way we're living. And in that big picture, we did all pick to be here at this time. And so even though there's certainty in what we're doing, there also is a comfort in knowing that, hey, there's some kind of plan here, because it's the big picture plan. Obviously, the earthy plan right now does not feel very safe at all. But the big picture plan, there's more in that. Sometimes when we're in that anxiety space and we need to connect in with big picture, that's when we ask for signs, or we ask for, give me a sign everything's going to be okay, or pick a sign, send me a feather, send me a flower, send me a rainbow, send me something that's going to make me know that it's going to be okay. This is when we're tuning back into our higher self, because our higher self has got us. So it's giving us reassurance that we're okay. Some people can use guardian angels. All of that kind of stuff helps regulate our nervous system, because our anxiety is coming in because our nervous system doesn't feel safe. It's again looking at what do I need right now? And sometimes, what does my nervous system need? So when we're in that real anxious state all the time without even, it's the underlying anxious state that's going along, it's coming back to going, what do I need right now? Now, sometimes it could be tuning out of the news for a little bit, because the news isn't giving us good news. And it's not to be oblivious to what's going on, but sometimes we need to desensationalize things. It's the what can I control right now? So when we can't control what's going on in the world and it's affecting us, it's stepping out to come back to our world. What can I control in my little world right now? And what do I need? Both of those statements, we can then come back to going, okay, I need a bit more peace. I need to feel safe. I need to feel connected. I need to laugh. I need to find joy. I need to find the good in living. And so it's reconnecting that. So we've got Easter weekend and catching up with loved ones and time, more time than normal to do things. And so have a look over this Easter break with coming back to you. What do you need, particularly in this anxious state? And it's really working on how we reconnect and support our nervous systems and support ourselves to find joy. So find the people that you laugh with. Make sure that you laugh every single day. Challenge each other to make things funny so you can laugh. Watch funny movies, all of that kind of stuff, because joy is what we need to bring back. At the moment, it's moving from just feeding us that worry and the anxiety into we're allowed to have the other side of that, the good side and the future hope and everything else as well. And it's really important that we start doing that for ourselves. Things like grounding ourselves. So walking on bare feet on the grass, looking at the stars is such a beautiful way to reconnect and ground us and breathe and help our nervous systems. Not only drinking water, but also experiencing water. So nature water, rivers or the ocean or walking with your feet in the water somewhere is so important because again, it reconnects us to the time that we're in right now for us to really settle and be able to be okay with things not being okay because we've tuned back into, there is a big picture earth plan and it's okay to be here right now. The other two things that I really want to leave you with, one is choose kindness. People are really upset and on edge at the moment. So think before you react, particularly when we're getting family members together and there's a lot of unsaid past with it. What happens is things could escalate really quickly. Have that tucked in somewhere so it means that you can choose how you react or you can choose what you say because we get to turn a situation from being a bomb to something that doesn't explode. So try and introduce kindness and love and compassion and the big picture into all of the conversations that we have, particularly when people are talking about what's going on. The other thing I noticed in being around people and appointments and stuff this week is in the waiting rooms, everyone, even strangers are talking about what's going on, but we leave it there. We leave it with the price of fuel or how scary it is or what's going on. So my challenge for this week is don't leave it there. By all means, have the conversation because we need to keep moving how we feel. It's really important, but leave it with a positive. Find something amazing to say. Say a highlight, something someone did, some beautiful experience that you had, or something. Finish your conversations as you leave, even strangers, with a positive. Because at the moment, all these conversations are being left with negatives. And it's just one little thing that we can do to help put some positive hope and love back into the world right now. So have a beautiful Easter. I hope you laugh lots. I hope your soul is filled with lots of good connection and some beautiful people, a little bit of chocolate, a hot cross bun. Have a really wonderful time. And don't forget, there's some beautiful workshops. If you need a little bit more support, reach out to me if you need a DM or a chat about something. And I will catch you all again next week.